Hi, my name is Stephen Whitsitt, and I want to thank you for stopping by to watch this short clip. I understand your time; it can be very valuable, and so I intend to make this kind of very brief in a sense. But I think it is vitally important that this message go out to everybody, every preacher and pastor in the churches of Christ, especially those in the Indianapolis area. And just from my background, I want to say quickly, I am a PhD candidate at Emory University, which is a Church of Christ seminary, and I preached for over 30 years in Southern California. So this message that I'm bringing to you is one of importance, and I think it needs to be heard and addressed, and let people respond as they want to. No, this is nothing funny or weird or anything else like that. But let me put it this way here. For some people that hear this, they're going to understand and know, and other people are not. But John Watson from the Westside Church of Christ in Indianapolis, he's made a public statement that I would like to address and answer for you. If you'll just take a moment to listen.
I made a post, and on this post, it says, if I can find it, here we go. It's coming. I can feel it in my bones. Maybe. It's all around here. Let's try this. Okay, I can still feel it in my bones. It's coming up. It's coming up. Oh, hey, there's me live. Okay, so it says right here. It's one of these pink ones right there. It says, "Okay, Church of Christ preachers, raise your hand if you, like many others, are leaning towards preterism." So, at current, it looks like it's at 642 comments. I did that. Was that last night? I think, yeah, that was last night that I did that. So we're at about 24 hours now, and it's just amazing all of the things that people bring up. And I love this, and I'm sure we'll go through this in the debate because this is just what people do. Well, why are you married?
Well, the point is that you heard him talk about churches of Christ and that there are people that are coming to it. And I think there needs to be a rallying point right now where people start defending and sticking up for each other and working together against this heresy. For those of you who are not familiar with full preterism, let me explain it to you in a nutshell. It is called by different names: covenant preterism, realized eschatology. There's several names like that try to bring it up. But at the core root of their doctrines is what they're teaching into their churches is the second coming was fulfilled in AD 70 invisibly and secretly. So Christ came in 70 AD during the destruction in that war, and nobody saw him. Nobody knew that he came, and anybody who said otherwise afterwards was all wrong. Anything of the early church fathers and their declarations is saying that the Christ is still coming and it is future. He says they're all apostate and they all lie. And this is not just him, but this is a group of men that is slowly spreading among the churches of Christ. You have Holger Neubauer, you have Steve Baisden, and then other churches as well in New York and down in Tennessee. But it's spreading among the churches of Christ. And this is something that needs to come to a stop. They also deny the resurrection of the dead that took place spiritually in the unseen realm. They deny the bodily resurrection of the saints. So the resurrection, when he comes, of course, they say it happened in 70 AD. All the resurrection of the dead took place, but it was not a physical bodily resurrection, and nobody saw it. It was all spiritually done, and they deny the complete nature of what the church and what we have understood for years. They also deny the bodily existence of Christ in heaven. He is no longer fully man, which is a denial of the incarnation. They say Jesus dies to save men from spiritual death as the last enemy. So death, sickness, disease, and all those things will continue on for all eternity. It will never change. We're living in the new heavens and earth right now, and this is the best that we can get from God. They claim that the Great White Throne Judgment has already taken place, and so that means everybody who died after 70 AD was already judged. They either go straight to heaven or they go straight to, lake of fire and Hades. And there is no in between. They're all, nobody gets to judge, nobody gets to stand anymore. They remove that completely out, which goes against, of course, God's justice and scriptures that say everybody must stand and give an account before Him as our Creator. And they say, no, you don't have to give an account. You've already been judged and answered. And that is not the justice of God that we understand from the Bible. And they claim, of course, the church currently lives in the glory of the new heavens and earth right now. So sickness, death, and disease will continue on forever. These are some basic essentials of what they are teaching. And they're doing debates, they're talking with people, and they're using sleight of tongue is the best way to put it, to give answers that are just absolutely unbiblical to the point of unbelievability of what they say. Like for spiritual death, Christ died for spiritual death, and didn't do anything about physical death. No, you don't get a new body or anything else. So let me play this next track for you. And
why do you take the Lord's Supper? I'm not going to spend all night on those. Why do you take the Lord's Supper? I got news for you all. And most of these people were in the Church of Christ. And one of the reasons I made that post is because there are a lot of Church of Christ preachers who are out there waiting in the wings. And I don't know what they're waiting for, but they see the fact that preterism is true and right. And I can tell you this because I have spoken to them. I'm not going to list names and all that, I wouldn't do that. But I have spoken to them. Steve has spoken to them. Holger has spoken to them. And they're out there. They're waiting in the wings. And here's something else that's amazing. We are watching the transformation of the Church of Christ doctrine. We're watching it transform right before our eyes. Our Church of Christ preachers are now so desperate to answer us that they believe that Jesus was the only one that did not know the day or the hour. Terry Wayne Benton, for example, and others, but he harps on this a lot, so he calls me out, I'll call him out. Believes that the 1,000 years was literal. I read a post. I don't know where it was.
As you can see, folks, what he's trying to do is talk to people, and then any of us that have anything that's considered orthodox in the sense a right teaching that we've held onto and had to, they're challenging it all. They're spreading it. And I am trying to get across here is that the churches of Christ, the preachers, need to come together against this. Right now, they're trying to work out John Watson and Steve Basden to do a debate in the scenes, Indiana down there. They're working on those details, and we got to rally around. We've got to support these people who are defending the Christian Orthodox faith and against these heresies and these teachings. So I'm asking people to start working together, connecting. Maybe I should start a Facebook page where we can start doing that, and just as a way of connecting to do this. So that will probably be coming in the next couple of days. But of course, my name is Stephen Whitsitt. You can find me on Facebook. That's where you can get me at, and I do have a YouTube channel and different things, a podcast even that deals with answering full preterism and all of those things. But the point is that Facebook, this full preterism, is the greatest lie since Hymenaeus Philetus. And those who are considering it, please, in great humor, please talk to me. I've engaged in discussion with them now for 8 years, and they are so easy to refute. Once you learn how they manipulate their words and scriptures and the meanings that they pour into those words, you could say resurrection of the dead, anastasis necron, the standing again of corpse, but they will change it to the standing again of the dead ones, meaning that they claim that the resurrection of the dead is those people that are in Hades are coming out and going into heaven and getting a new body while they're in heaven, a spiritual body in heaven. And it has nothing to do with your body that's coming up out of the grave. So for others who have not heard about it, these previous statements that I made are true concerning what these men believe. And their hope is to make disciples of this damnable heresy. And I urge you to reach out if you have questions. Now, this is the charge he makes against the Brotherhood concerning those who oppose them. Now, this you need to listen to this. This is what he's saying about people who oppose him.
They take what you say, and they're masters. These are people in the Church of Christ. It's pretty sad. They're supposed to be Christians, and they do everything they can to misrepresent you. And I'm going to show you why in just a minute. Why do they want to misrepresent you? Well, here's the reason. Because they can't answer the questions, and what they're saying doesn't make sense, and it's old, and it's tired, and it's antiquated lies, or misinformation, or mistruth, or error, however you want to put it. It's one of those, depending on who it comes from. So they don't deal with these things. They have to twist things. Now,
You get the gist of it, that they're saying that you guys, preachers in general, and the Church of Christ don't know what they're talking about, and those who oppose him are all wrong, and just, it's just incredible what's going on here. But they're actively going out after Churches of Christ pastors and trying to bring it in their churches through debates or whatever way they can. They're doing it. They're going out visiting. They're putting their words out. They're challenging Church of Christ pastors, preachers. They're going everywhere they can to find them and to talk with them and to deal with them and try to suck them into this. And we got to oppose it. We've got to stand up against it. So, again, you can find me, Stephen Whitsett, on Facebook. It's spelled Whitsett. I will put it in the comments below on my YouTube channel. And then, of course, I'll be pasting this and finding Church of Christ pastors in the Indianapolis area and posting it to their sites and web pages. I hope you guys don't mind that, but it's just to get the word out that we need to rally against this onslaught of heresy, where they are deliberately seeking you out to captivate you into this false teaching. And so we've got to support pastors who are considering this. We've got to give the truth. We've got to give an answer to what they say. And after 8 years, I know every argument that they present. Most of them have blocked me and said many things about me, but the idea is that they don't want to deal with me because they can't refute anything that I've said. I've written a book, it's out there, against full preterism, and they have not been able to bring any kind of opposition to what I've said, and they know it. So thank you for listening, thank you for paying attention here, and I'm about to sneeze. Oh, got it, okay. Sorry about that. So, thanks for listening, and I will get you guys. Hopefully, you'll be able to contact me if this touches a chord or you want to be a part of something. Appreciate it. You guys have a good night.